Hi, my name is Matt. I'm the founder of Petovera, home for entrepreneurs and small business owners who want to grow. In my article this week, titled 8 Great Habits for Building a Blog Audience in 2014, I talk about what are the key habits that you want to develop in order to write a blog that's going to be successful, that's going to drive you a lot of traffic, and that's going to increase steadily over time. Because the key advantage to having an audience through your blog is, number one, they're going to trust you. And trust is really the basis for good business, because that way you can spend less time selling and more time nurturing, building those relationships, putting out great content, and just really building and growing that top of your sales funnel. Okay? So let's dig into it. So habit number one is writing daily on your blog. You want to do this for a couple of reasons. The main reason, or rather the first reason, is because you really want to be an excellent writer, because no one wants to read content that's short, or rather too short, that isn't detailed, that isn't saying anything new, that isn't engaging. They want insights, they want to be entertained. So by writing daily, by studying your competitors, by looking at what you like to read and how those people write, you'll get better and better over time. One good example is from a personal hero of mine, Andrew Warner, the founder of Mixergy.com. He talks a lot in his past interviews about how he was very shy, nervous, especially getting in front of the camera to do these video interviews, but he did it day after day after day, sometimes multiple times a day, these 1 hour plus interviews with other entrepreneurs. And now, over 4 years later, if you watch one of his interviews now and compare that to one of his first interviews, you can absolutely say that he has mastered his craft. Habit number two is building an email list. And you want to build an email list. I've talked a lot in the past about the importance of building an email list, but think about it this way. It's like built-in traffic for your website. These are people who are saying that they want to hear about new, fresh content that you're going to be putting out. Plus, there are some interesting statistics out there, like from Neil Patel, founder of Quicksprout.com, who found that his blog subscribers were 3.9 times more likely to reshare his content than the average visitor who wasn't on his email list. In addition, just to step back to that first habit for a moment, because I skipped over this, where you're writing daily on your blog, the second key advantage to writing daily is that Google loves fresh content. And there are certain queries that when they are plugged into Google's formula or algorithm, Google is going to want to show its users for those search queries or search keywords the most fresh content, or rather content that has been recently published. So by writing daily and publishing daily, or simply at least once a week, you're going to be able to take advantage of that. So write daily, build an email list, and further reason to build an email list is that other distribution channels like Facebook and Twitter are really only marginally effective. And if you've invested any time in building a Facebook page, I recommend that you stop, because over time, your ability to actually reach your audience has declined significantly. It's gone from 2 years ago where you could reach about 16% of your Facebook page likers or fans, to today where many of my entrepreneur friends, and I've seen this on our page too, you're really only reaching about 1%, sometimes less, by default of your audience. On the other hand, an email list, it's an asset that you own and that you, to a large extent, control. Habit number 3, invest in promoting your blog content. Promoting your blog content is one of those really underrated habits that most bloggers who don't succeed or only succeed maybe marginally, they don't do it. Because if you're going to invest in your blog as a means of generating more leads, you want to maximize the growth potential in the short and long term. And the best way to do it, especially in the short term, when you have really no one coming to your website, visiting or looking at your content, you really want to get out there. And that doesn't mean just hitting the share button or hitting the like button on your blog posts. That's really not going to spread it. You want to get out there. You want to network with other bloggers. You want to network with influencers on Twitter, on LinkedIn, so that you can give them something that's relevant to them, that they are probably interested in. And I even go through a formula in this habit that you can use that I call the platforming technique for how best to promote it. In addition, I also talk about how Derek Halpern has a good tactic around this, where when he reaches out or he recommends to his listeners that he trains on how to do this type of stuff, he recommends that when you reach out to an influencer, someone who you want to share the content, number one, make sure that it's something they're likely to be interested in, maybe because they tweeted about a similar topic or article in the past. But number two, don't even give them the link, because that can be perceived as being too direct. Instead, just ask them if they're interested in reading the article. And if you have some research in the article, you can say, oh, I found some research on this topic. Would you like to see it? And then you can send them the link. So it's a more indirect and permission-based way of reaching out and doing the promotion. And then some percentage of those people that you reach out to will actually share it. Habit number 4, simplicity is the key to brilliance. Bruce Lee quote, love it. Just a big fan of Bruce Lee in general. Did you know that he was a philosopher? Anyway, simplicity and straightforward design will usually beat out a complex design. And Google did a research study on this, and it found that there was a direct correlation with users on a website perceiving a website to be more beautiful the less visually complex that it was. Furthermore, there's data out there that shows that this is great when it comes to decreasing your bounce rate as well as increasing conversions. Conversions being visitors turning into email list subscribers in this case. And decreasing your bounce rate is also useful because you want people not just to come to your website, look at one page for 1 second or even 30 seconds, but you want them to read it, you want them to browse around your site, and hopefully you can form a relationship with them to the point where they see what you're writing is valuable and they're going to want to come back. Okay? Habit number 5, talk to readers, think like a journalist. So when I say think like a journalist, I mean you want to try to uncover what are the stories or upcoming stories, and what are the key questions that your audience has that isn't being addressed right now by you and possibly by others who are also creating content in your niche. And I spoke with 2 of my readers recently over the phone and over Skype, and it actually gave me some great ideas for how I can improve our blog, our blog content. And you can read more about that in the 3 bullet points below this video. But briefly, one of the people I spoke with said he wanted, when he's reading articles, he wanted to get one quick takeaway, almost like a bite of a cookie, taste the chocolate and then maybe go back, finish eating the entire cookie, as in reading the entire blog post. But he wanted that quick benefit when he first came to the site because he's busy just like everyone else. So for this reason, at the beginning of every blog post now, I have a section that includes links to the different sections of the article, so that people who are skimming and scanning can just start there, and they can jump around based on what is most relevant to them, which in this case habit maybe is new to them that they want to learn the most about, and they can always come back to the beginning of the article, read from the beginning, or bookmark it, come back a bit later on. Habit number 6, be personal, be unique, share the journey. I think the best example of this is the Groove HQ blog. Groove HQ is a SaaS customer service tool, and on their blog, they've taken a really unique approach to sharing their journey with their audience, because they're talking about, okay, we're a bootstrap startup, and our goal is to build a $1 million plus company, and come along for the journey with us, subscribe, and we'll tell you everything that we learn along the way. And you should check out their blog. Check out the screenshot I pasted there. It's probably one of the most unique approaches that I've seen. Furthermore, this has been said before by others, but it's worth repeating. You want to talk in a personal tone. That is, you want to use the words I and me rather than we or us. And that's important because people trust other people. They don't necessarily trust brands. So if you're talking in the form, not in the first person, like using we or us, that's going to be detrimental toward your goal of building trust. You don't have to build your blog around your personal brand. I am not saying that, but using I and me is beneficial to building a more personal relationship. Habit number 7, optimize your content for search engine traffic. And the 3 key lessons that I've learned from doing this myself are, number 1, put a large amount of your time into research, because you don't just want traffic on day 1 when you hit publish on your blog post. You want traffic later that week, later that month, and onward for as long as the content is going to be relevant to Google's users, which is hopefully a long time. So do your research so that you can produce this sort of evergreen content that is well optimized for what people are searching for. And second, use my Spiderweb technique. I wrote about that in last week's article. I linked to it below. And third and finally, focus on just 1 or 2 keywords at a time. What do I mean by that? I mean, don't stuff too many keywords that you find that your target market might be searching for into your title or into the text of your blog content, because Google will probably end up penalizing you for that. So just focus. The way that you'll keep the top topic and text of your blog articles focused on that topic, do the same thing with your keywords. Sure, use the same keywords multiple times, but don't overdo it. Don't try to optimize for like 10 keywords at once. That's probably not so effective, and it can get you penalized in the search rankings. Habit number 8, partner with others to steal their traffic. So I gave some good examples of this. Traffic Genesis, I've been receiving their emails since they just launched, or they're getting ready to launch. I don't even know anymore. I've gotten so many emails from them. But they partnered with 4 other well-known marketers who have large email lists in their space, and such as Even Pagan. So not only did I receive emails from the Traffic Genesis team, but I received emails from Even Pagan, for example, who partnered with them, who sent an affiliate link to his subscribers pointing to the Traffic Genesis course. Buffer is another great example of how you're able to leverage the website or email lists of others. And they are a famous example because they were largely able to bootstrap their way to tens of thousands of users and $1 million per month run rate, mostly bootstrapped. And Brian Harris also has a case study on videofruit.com that supports this as well, or guest blogging. In other words, giving away some of your best ideas and content to other blogs, not only is a win for that blog that you're partnering with, but it's a win for you because you can build your email list and your audience much faster that way. Furthermore, I had a couple of friends who used a webinar-based strategy where they would partner with someone who had a large email list and then offer to their audience a webinar, and anyone who opted into that webinar would then be on their email list going forward into the future. One of my friends actually grew his email list by 3,000 subscribers in a single day just by hosting this webinar. So in conclusion, write every day. Don't be shy about capturing email addresses. It's not just about the quality of content, but you have to promote it as well if you want to grow your audience in the short and long term. Keep your blog design simple, be unique, personal, and authentic. Google wants to give its users the best answers, so do your research up front in order to leverage the traffic and the user base of Google, and give away your best content via blog posts and webinars. All right, until next time, thanks for watching. And also at the bottom of this blog post, I offer my top content marketing tools. I call it's a PDF, 10 essential tools to help you collect more emails and leads. So go ahead, download that, enter your email address if you're not already on my my email list, and I'll send that on over to you right now. Thanks.